Hi, this is Esty Schachter, and I'm here to talk to you today about my book, Pickled Watermelon, published by Carben Publishing. Pickled Watermelon is a very special book to me. I actually wrote it many years ago, and it was a way for me to remember my grandparents. The main character in the book is a 12-year-old girl named Molly, who is going to Israel to visit Israel for the first time and to meet her grandparents for the very first time, which is a pretty big deal, especially because they don't actually share a common language. Molly speaks English and has learned a bit of Hebrew here and there, and her grandparents speak a lot of languages, but English is not one of them. So as she prepares for her trip, she's pretty anxious, and she's not a person who loves lots of change anyway, so it's not that easy for her. But her trip does provide her with lots of opportunities to figure out how to bridge the divide and connect. People like to ask me often how much of Pickled Watermelon is my experience and was true for me. And I was actually able to visit my grandparents a bunch of times. They lived in Nahariya, Israel. I grew up in the Bronx in New York and then in Teaneck, New Jersey. And we visited, I would say, about 8 times from the time that I was a baby up until I was in my 20s. We would visit for weeks at a time during the summer and stay in Nahariya, and it was very enjoyable. So most of Pickled Watermelon is fiction, but every time I refer to Savta and Saba, Grandma and Grandpa, those stories really did happen, and my way of describing Grandma and Grandpa in the book are quite true. It's how I remember them, and my purpose for writing the book was to cherish those memories, and they were really for me to remember them. It's a picture of my Savta and Saba. And if you've read the book, you might find that is kind of what they are described to look like. And so Molly has the chance to do a lot of new things, and one of those things is to actually taste pickled watermelon, which is something that my grandmother used to make, and I've made. I have to say, this is a replica. This is what our pickled watermelon used to look like. She would chop up the watermelon, she'd shave off the green outside, chop it into chunks, put it in. You might see there's dill, there's garlic, there's just a little bit of the pink. It's salty, there's nothing sweet in here. She did not use vinegar. Canning is complicated, and you need to talk to your parents about how to do it. And I honestly wish that I had written down the recipe way back when we would visit her, because we didn't, and so I'm always guessing about the right measurements and trying different ways. So one of my thoughts for today, a challenge for you all, is to interview your parents or your grandparents about your family's favorite recipes. What might be something that you might record them telling you, or draw a picture, write the recipe, save it for everyone. 'Cause that's a fun thing to do, and it's nice to know how to make the things that are special to you. Whether it's a jar of pickled watermelon or the best grilled cheese sandwich in the world. Pickled watermelon is also a way to explore my memories of Israel that were very special to me. And so in your own way, you might want to also explore your memories and things that are special to you and write them down. What is something that you cherish, that you would want to save? Maybe you'd want to write a poem or a story now, draw a picture, make a collage, all sorts of ideas. Or you might just want to jot down notes that maybe someday in the future will help you just remember this moment in time. I welcome questions about pickled watermelon. Please feel free to get in touch. And I'm wishing everyone well, and take care.